One of my favorite new lolcows, the Gadoosh God Wes Watson, has just had a crazy development in his lore as he continues to spiral. He has become an impressive clown. Now, I made a video a little over a month ago kind of bringing you all up to speed on the story, the anime arc of Wes Watson. This sensitive Sigma Watson does your standard guru scamming tactics where he sells these garbage classes and courses on how to be a multi-millionaire who gets more ass than a toilet seat, and he sells this invaluable knowledge for thousands upon thousands of dollars, preying upon gullible, desperate men who look at videos of Wes Watson's fake lifestyle and rented mansion with stars in their eyes, thinking they're only one Zoom meeting away from achieving that for themselves. So they toss their wallet at the computer screen, hoping to latch on to Wes Watson's juiced-out bosom to suckle a bit of success from it, and he drains their piggy bank and they say thank you for it. They get nothing in return, but Wes Watson gets very rich off of his little pay piggies. That's the whole scam. We all know how it works. But what makes Wes Watson so special is that he's not afraid to show his sensitive side. He is constantly arguing with Redditors and people on Instagram, so he directly messages pretty much everyone who makes fun of him, and it's what makes him such an entertaining clown. So the video I made talking about gadooshing, well, that came from him, because he was talking about how Redditors were gadooshing him. It's just so entertaining listening to him bitch and moan and rant and spiral into lunacy, but he did recently find himself in a serious situation, which is what we're here to talk about today. He has some charges filed against him, if you can believe that. He already spent 10 years in the slammer before where he'd brag about how flexible his asshole was, hooping his paperwork, and Wes, it's looking like you might need to start getting back on those Kegels. You might need to start working out that sphincter again, because these charges are serious. It's always the people you least expect, huh?
Where's the police report? Are there charges being pressed, right? Well, I have it all, and I'm gonna show it to you, and I'm gonna go over it with you. This is an open case. I'm working on the full footage, censoring it in a way so I don't get in legal trouble, and I'm gonna put it out on here, and then later, when I can actually release the whole thing, I'm gonna put it on X uncensored. When I'm allowed to.
Last time I was goofing on Whiny Watson, I also briefly mentioned John Bravo. John Bravo has a channel that has done extremely good coverage on Wes Watson's embarrassing descent into madness. And John Bravo has a great video here where he is going over the footage to the best of his ability, as well as the police report from Wes Watson and his group of lobotomites assault on someone that actually took up Wes Watson's common challenge of fighting him. So, let me go ahead and tell you how we got here, the context. About a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago, there was footage as well as Wes Watson's testimonials about this, that someone had confronted him at the gym, a 7-foot monster is what he was referred to as, and Wes Watson beat his ass. And there was like some stills that floated around, but no one had like the full picture, and some people were calling it fake. Well, John Bravo did some digging, and he got all of the footage, which he is saying he's going to release the full uncensored version once he's able to make sure that he's not going to get in trouble for it, and also has the police report, which he goes over in this video, which we will also go over as well.
The first thing I want you guys to see, I have to obviously black out the person's name, the police report number. See where it says disposition pending? That means the case is open, all right? And the other thing I'm going to tell you ahead of time is I'm going to go to the bottom and read you one part, then I'm going to go back to the start, okay? Because I know a lot of people are impatient. They want to watch 3 seconds and leave, okay? When the victim was asked if he wanted to press charges, the victim stated yes. And he was jumped by multiple people and was not just a 1 versus 1 battle.
Now, the gist of it is, the reason the 7-foot monster was there in the first place is because he went there to actually take up Wes Watson on his challenge. Wes Watson has been wishing for hair for many, many moons now, but the only wish that's actually being granted is someone actually taking him up on this. So the 7-foot monster shows up, and Wes Watson doesn't actually fight him one-on-one. So he actually just gets ganged up on by Wes and 3 of his buddies who are hitting him with dumbbells, weight belts, and it's just brutal. And imagine being that pathetic worm that flexes about this, because Wes Watson was making it sound like he was some kind of hero and this was all self-defense. He made it sound like he fought this guy with the Knight's Code of Honor. Like a 1v1 pugilistic fisticuffs, the old-fashioned way. That's a load of fucking barnacles right there. That's just fanfic, because what actually happened is Wes Watson got to hide behind his friends and they just ganged up on this guy. Imagine being such a pitiful fucking vermin that you challenge someone to a fight and then bring 3 other dudes with you to help fight that guy with you. It's so cringe, which is Wes Watson in a nutshell.
The suspect stated the victim walked up to him stating he wanted to fight. The suspect stated they began to fight verbally and then escalated to physical. The victim stated he doesn't know who the victim is and he never seen him before. When asked if he wanted to press charges, he said no, this is Wes Watson. They asked him if he wants to press charges. Wes Watson says no, and he never seen him before. Units then spoke to the victim, the 7-foot monster, who stated he was told by the suspect to come fight him via Instagram. We know how Wes challenges all of us on Instagram. He did it to me, the piece of shit, but I knew not to go in because his goons, security, and his bullshit weapons pulling out the shit out of the purse.
I love the way John Bravo calls him a piece of shit all the time. He also calls him Peg Watson pretty often, and it just always makes me giggle just listening to him always slide in, you piece of shit, to Wes Watson. But anyway, what he is describing here was Wes Watson saying, like, he didn't know the suspect he was working out. This guy came over and said he wants to fight him. Well, the reason he came over and said he wants to fight him is because Wes Watson had challenged him, and he actually showed the Instagram messages that confirmed, yep, this was like a prearranged thing where Wes does the standard Wes thing of saying, come fight me. And the guy showed up, he said, bet, I'm here to fight. So he walked over to him, they had like a really brief verbal back and forth, and the victim did give him like a little shove, but to me it looks like he backed off, looking to try and de-escalate things. I think he wasn't really there to fight. I think he was there more just to confront a bully. I think that's what he was doing, because it doesn't look like he went over there to try and just beat Wes Watson's ass out of nowhere. Like, he didn't throw any sucker punches or anything from the footage that's been released. He goes over there, it's a verbal back and forth, and then he gives him like a little shove and then steps away. And then after he does that, that's when Wes Watson and his boys just go ballistic on him. Wes Watson strikes him in the face with a weight belt multiple times, and then all hell breaks loose.
When units looked at the victim's phone, it shows the victim messaging the suspect to fight him. The victim then stated he went to the gym to confront the suspect. So now we have the motive. So he wanted to go to the gym and fight Wes because Wes has been challenging all of us to come there. So he went to fight him. But I don't think he knew it wasn't a one-on-one battle with Mr. Peg Watson.
It wasn't even a battle at all. It was checkmate before the game even started, because Wes was traveling with 3 of his friends that were using weapons to defend Wes Watson, even though there wasn't really a threat to defend him from, at least not in my eyes. So like that initial shove, that is instigating for sure. I get that. They're in a verbal argument, but after the shove, he backs off. And it doesn't look like he ever planned on like striking at Wes until the weight belt hits him in the head twice. They then get into a verbal argument, and then he kind of like falls forward at Wes Watson. Maybe he's kind of lunging at him, but it also looks like his friend hit him with a dumbbell and it sent him forward, so it's kind of hard to tell. But what is irrefutable is that after that lunge, he falls to the ground, and then Wes and his friends hit him with dumbbells and weight belts for a very long period of time, and it ends with the victim kind of hunched over like this on the ground, all bloodied and bruised, and Wes Watson comes out of nowhere with a soccer kick to the fucking skull. That is a move that kills people. That is oftentimes fatal. And according to John Bravo in the full footage, there are 4 or 5 soccer kicks to the head of this guy.
Wes Watson, the victim stated they got in a verbal fight, which escalated to physical. The victim was stating that he was hit by a belt and then jumped by multiple people and hit by weights. When asked if he wanted to press charges, the victim stated yes. He was jumped by multiple people and it wasn't versus one. After reviewing CCTV footage of the incident, so the cops watched the CCTV footage, the victim places his phone down next to a weight machine as if he was attempting to record the encounter.
So he obviously recorded this knowing full well that he wanted to film his confronting of Wes Watson. So now we know why it was being recorded. It wasn't like a staged thing, which is what a lot of people thought it might have been when this initially started to float around. It's all very real and all confirmed in the police report here.
The suspect then swings the belt towards the victim's head, appearing to hit him. The suspect and victim continue to argue verbal. The suspect then turns around and starts to walk away from the victim with his back towards the victim. The victim then rushes towards the suspect and attempts to strike the suspect in the head with his fist, but appears to miss. All right, so that portion of the footage I'm going to show you guys. So after Wes hit him with that belt 2 times, right? That asshole with the dumbbell, his butt buddy, was behind him. And I can't tell if he hit him with it or not, but it lunged him forward, and then he went back to get Wes. But he didn't even make it like a foot or two, and Wes took him down.
It's just kind of hard to tell. He does have a dumbbell, and he does go off camera, and I can kind of see like the dumbbell on the back of the guy's shirt. So it looks like he got struck by the dumbbell, but it's hard to tell because it's censored here, and I don't have the full thing yet, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. I can kind of see arguments for like, oh, the 7-foot monster started it. This is kind of on him. Wes Watson was well within his right to defend himself. That would almost work if the rest of the video footage wasn't there, which is why when Wes Watson was talking about it, he made sure you didn't see the whole picture. Because the guy is on the ground, covered up, fetal position, just trying to like protect his head, and Wes and his friends punch, kick, and strike him with weapons for an extremely long period of time, even though it's very clear this fight is over. Also, it's a fight Wes Watson himself fucking agreed to, it seems. A one-on-one. But it actually was never one-on-one, because Wes, you can't 1v1. He'll never meet you on Rust. He's always going to bring his whole crew with him. So the guy showed up for the fight with Wes, but got gangbanged instead.
The suspect instantly reacts and gets the victim on the ground and begins to strike the victim in the head and face numerous times with his hands. Yeah, I counted 45 fucking times. After the victim being hit numerous times, all you can see is the victim on his knees, protecting his face and not fighting back. His eyes were being gouged, his ponytails were being pulled. Dirty shit. He's being held down by his butt buddies. They're all taking a little lick in, a kick here, a kick there. The suspect then stopped hitting the victim, and the victim stopped protecting his face. That's that part with the kick, and attempted to stand up. The suspect then walked over and kicked the victim in the face with force. That's that soccer kick. But prior to that soccer kick, there was 4 soccer kicks, 3 or 4 hard ones to his face.
No exaggeration, that kind of kick kills people. Straight up. That has put people in the dirt thousands of times over. And this fight is clearly done. There's no more threat to Wes or his group of goofballs. There's no threat there at all. It's done. And Wes Watson comes back like a post-credit scene to deliver one more soccer kick to this man's skull, which literally could have just killed him. But I've still seen people just try and say that everything that happened here is justifiable as self-defense for Wes Watson because the guy came up to him and started it. But I just don't fully agree with that because I feel like the fight is over when 4 people are collectively beating a man with weapons on the ground. Like, I think the fight's done. There's not really a threat to defend yourself from. Also, you were the one that agreed to a 1v1 fight, and then it wasn't 1v1. And also, the guy never actually even struck Wes. There's that brief moment where he kind of like lunges at him, but that's also possible he was falling after getting hit by that dumbbell. It's hard to tell. But no matter how hard you try and justify it, there's no amount of mental gymnastics that could possibly justify that final kick from Wes. Because again, he crawls away on his fucking hands and knees. This is clearly over. Wes Watson's fucking friends have even left at this point, but he still comes back around like a jump scare to deliver that soccer kick, which could have just been fatal. So there's just no way anyone, not even Saul fucking Goodman, could make a convincing argument that that still falls under self-defense. Even Wes Watson's own friends have left. And he has crawled away on his hands and knees, not even looking at you. You come back to attack him.
While he was already done, and they didn't say it in here. I'm going to show it to you guys in the footage. The victim stated at the hospital that he wants to press charges. When he was first put on the ground and stated he was telling the suspect to stop. Victim had the left side of his face very swollen lips, and was bleeding from the nose and mouth. Charges are being pressed. The case is open. I have the body cam footage coming. I have the full fight footage coming.
John Bravo goes on to explain why he's releasing all of this to the public, explaining that he believes that it's a good service to allow people to form their own opinions on something like this. And I think he's absolutely right. Though I don't know how anyone could form the opinion that Wes Watson was in the right here. Again, if the whole footage didn't exist, you could maybe say that there was self-defense at play. Wes Watson feared for his life after someone accepted his challenge of fighting him one-on-one Thus, they had to gangbang the guy. Okay, maybe you could stretch for something there, but I think having the rest of the footage, at least for me, has 100% solidified Wes Watson as a big bitch. He issues these challenges. Someone finally accepted it, and then Wes Watson has his 3 friends help him beat that guy's ass. And that guy never even struck Wes, at least not in any of the footage that's been released. There's that one tiny shove, and then he kind of lunges at Wes Watson, but doesn't land any punches or anything at all, immediately covers up because 4 people are now attacking him. And 4 people immediately get ready to attack him the second that he tells Wes Watson that he's up to actually take that fight. So yeah, what a piece of shit. Big old piece of shit. Classic Wes Watson. That's really about it. So yeah. Many of you might remember a couple years ago, Target announced they were going to stop selling Pokemon cards because grown men couldn't stop fighting each other in the parking lot over it, literally piling up corpses just to get their hands on the precious Pokemon product. Yeah, well, we haven't really evolved past that point. People are going to war for Pokemon cards at Costco right now. There's been a ton of footage that's come out about brawls, as well as a POV I want to show you real quick. It is sad. It is just downright pathetic, because it's not like these people actually want the Pokemon cards or anything. The majority of them are scalpers. I have no doubt a few of them are probably collectors that want it for themselves, or even maybe they have a kid that really is into Pokemon. But the vast majority, the ones that are making off like Scrooge McDuck here, hoarding all of the wealth of Pokemon, like 10 boxes deep, those are scalpers. They turn around and sell it for a huge premium markup online. The lowest of the low, super scum.
Oh shit.
It's like a swarm of mosquitoes fighting over a piece of corn and a pile of dog shit. They are going ballistic trying to get their hands on as many of these Pokemon boxes as they can possibly muster. You're watching the POV of a fucking loser. It's putting you right in the helm like a VR game in the position of a sad scalper. I don't know who this is. I just saw this video float around, but I'm going to make an educated guess that based on the quantity of Pokemon boxes he's buying, he is most likely a scalper. But even if he's not, this is the behavior of a fucking clown. He gets in there and starts scrapping with people like he's trying to recover a fumble. He rips 2 boxes out of another dude's hands. It's like watching the zombies in Walking Dead after they got their hands on one of the main cast members and the horde gets around him and starts ripping their intestines out.
No. Oh, come on, I gotta take.
You gotta ask my boyfriend.
Here, one. Go ahead.
I gotta
One.
take one more for my. Come on, please.
This is probably the most exciting moment of this guy's life, scrambling to get Pokemon card boxes. You can hear him breathing heavy. If he had a heart rate monitor going, it'd be at like 210 BPM. He's treating this like he's in an actual battlefield, and hats off to him, he's quite the saint. He parts with one of his 10 or 11 boxes, whatever the fuck he's got in there. Man, he's so generous. And the guy he gives it to is like, one more, please, for my, and I'm sure he's going to say, like, my kids or something, which I bet is a lie. He's probably also a scalper, but just wasn't able to jump on top of the Pokemon card display and get enough boxes, so now he's hoping for one more for a little payday online.
Yeah.
Can I get one more for my girlfriend?
I'm sorry, man.
Please,
I'm
just
sorry.
One. You have like 10 of them. You have more than 10.
I fought for it too, man.
Sorry, we also get it for our friends too.
Yeah. Oh.
The way he's walking around with that shopping cart is actually adorable. He's got his hand on it like he's guarding it, protecting the sacred treasure. This is very important cargo. It reminds me of being a little kid in the front seat and your parent stops quick and they stick their hand out in front of you to stop you from like going through the windshield or whatever. It's just that like parental instinct. He's doing that for fucking Pokemon cards. And you can hear his shit-eating smile when he tells the other guy that he fought for those boxes. He has never been so proud. The last time he fought was probably to get the wedgies out from his butt crack from bullies. And now, he just fought for something really meaningful. Yeah, fighting for your country is super cool and patriotic, but fighting for Pokemon cards? Nah, that's something real special. Again, I don't necessarily buy the sob story from the other guy who's like, come on, you've got so many, I need this for my kids, they're gonna starve without these Pokemon cards, it's all they've wanted for 2025, how can you do this and be so heartless? I think this is just another scalper. That's my best guess. But yeah, I'm sure all of you know this by now, I don't like scalpers. And this guy is not only a greedy asshole, he literally ripped it from another guy's hands. He stole it from the other dude's stash. Like, come on. Like, how can you be so shameless? Before getting into, like, what the product even is, which is something I went over on stream, I saw another POV from a scalper doing the same shit at a different Costco.
Oh! Go. Hey, don't do that, bro. Okay. Here. Oh, sorry, go. Go. Damn. Any more? No more?
There's one in the back.
Here, give me.
This guy is winded after jogging a few feet. This is the most exercise he's ever gotten there. I thought he was going to pass out when he finally made it to the Pokemon card display over there. He gets there and he's winded, and then he slaps someone else's load of boxes so he get a better grip on his. And then they start, like, scavenging for morsels of Pokemon back there. They notice one fell to the back and he's like, give me it! It's mine! I saw it! Give it to me! In what has become a familiar scene, Pokemon fans are posting videos to social media showing mayhem at their local Costco stores as adults try to secure the 151 Blooming Waters Premium Collection. Releases on February 7th, but began appearing at Costco stores 2 weeks ago. Here was a scene at Costco in LA this morning.
Do not run! No running!
No running! This is a Pokemon product! Fucking just go! We're gonna die without it!
Oh my god.
Quick! They're just knocking over boxes. Pushing over shelves, imagine. Oh shit!
Oh my god, Phil!
God, it's like zombies in The Walking Dead looking to eat some intestines. At the same store, a brawl broke out. Where's the video?
It's gonna be a limit of 10, guys.
Limit of 10? How do you expect me to sell this on eBay at 10? Oh, that's about 10.
Is there a limit?
Cool. No, I have 6 kids at home, so I need 10 products. I'm not a scalper. I swear! It released for $60, but it's currently selling between $120 and $150 on the secondary market. If scalpers manage to grab 10 of them, that's then between $600 to $900. Huge. Let me see the brawl. I don't know why that video didn't load. Damn, look at this shit. It's like a hurricane blew through. Except it's stronger. This is a force nature could never match. Pokemon scalpers. There were no survivors. Nintendo tried to release a Pokemon product. Everyone died. How does that even happen? Brother, I have no idea. They probably couldn't get a blooming premium pass sacred treasure cup turbo, whatever it is. I already forgot what the product is. And they got mad and crashed their electric scooter through the front door is what it looks like. Or they were fighting for product. They didn't get product, so then they started breaking the glass and taking the glass home as a souvenir. I couldn't tell you, man. I have no idea. Oh, here it is. This isn't really... I don't know if this is the one, but this doesn't seem like a brawl. Give me it! You have 2! I need one to sell on eBay! I love Pokemon! Oh, shit. Caught him with the people's elbow.
That's why you make it 2 each.
How do you not feel shame? You know what I mean? It is very impressive. Like, buying things online is one thing if you just go, like, hysterical buying shit online. Like, you get wrapped up in the hype, I can see that. But to actually go there in person and be part of this crowd, how do you not go home and take a look in the mirror and be like, it's time for a change? You know, how does that not set in? People love a quick buck. Yeah, but it's not quick. Like, here's the thing. When it comes to, like, Pokemon products, like, this kind of shit, I guess I can't speak for this, but, like, you remember when Oreo had the Pokemon collab and they were selling Mew Oreos on, like, eBay for $200? Nobody bought them. Nobody bought them. That shit sat there forever until they took it down and ate it. Oh, wait, here. Here's another one. Yeah, another brawl. This shit turned Costco into fight clubs, man. Holy. Oh, wait, no. This was the same one, different angle. Hello there. I'm Buckman Cream. During the day, I'm a professional rim job therapist, but by night, I'm a contender for the world's best breath holder. I've always believed that people were put on this planet with a purpose, a higher calling, and I've finally found mine. I've trained my whole life to be the world's best breath holder, to be the top athlete in this sport. My family was never supportive of this career path. My father used to laugh in my face and tell me to hold his nuts. Well, who's laughing now, Dad? I won't hold those nuts, but I will hold my breath. I've put my body through the world's toughest workout programs, trained with the best in the business. I've studied every discipline of martial arts. I've trained like an Olympian for years leading up to today. I've eaten nothing but kale, protein bars, protein shakes, all in preparation for when I would finally take this world record. The current world record is 22 minutes and 22 seconds. I would have broken it last year, but I was ineligible for competition due to injecting bath salts. I'm clean now, and I'm ready to get back in the action. So buckle your seatbelts, 'cause I'm coming in hot. World record's 22 minutes. Game time. That was close. Personal best. Look. There's like a bunch of like soap scum and like dish shit in there. It was burning my eyes and mouth. It's close. I'm gonna try again. Oh my god. I should have cleaned that out better. Oh great. Dirty dish towel too. Looks like some dirty water. That's okay. Holy shit. I don't have a wetsuit, so I'm using a Care Bear suit that I dressed as for Halloween as a substitute. Right, start the timer now. Water's really hot. That's okay. Start the timer again. Oh my god! What kind of sewage is being pumped through this apartment complex? We'll chalk this one up to needs more training and practice. I'll get that world record one day. Buckman Cream signing out. A little waterlogged over here. Can you grab me a towel? The other day on stream, I read about a story that's been weighing on my mind ever since. I can't stop thinking about it just because of how ridiculous it is, so I want to share it with all of you. It was a road rage incident in New Zealand. And at this point in my life, I feel like New Zealand is a second home to me because Troy, the other half of the Gentlemen, our music project, lives there. He is a born and raised Kiwi, and I keep up with a lot of New Zealand news. So when I see stories like this, there's like a sense of like disappointment and dread, like, come on, New Zealand, you're better than this. But anyway, in this road rage incident, the driver of a vehicle got very upset at a dog walker, so much so that he grabbed a sword from his car and started trying to carve him up with it, basically. He hit him with like a Mortal Kombat 1 Kinshi fatality. He left him with nearly fatal injuries. It was a miracle that the victim survived, thanks to timely intervention from his son. And it's worth noting that the, last samurai here did this with his wife and child in the vehicle, nearly murdered a man in front of them over absolutely nothing. But what makes this story stand out as an affront to God is the fact that the judge ruled that the punishment for the attacker would be 10 months of home detention and 100 hours of community service. He literally said, "Go home, Buster. That's it." No, it's a complete miscarriage of justice here. He gets grounded after nearly murdering a man with a fucking sword. Like, he's been studying the blade, unleashes his forbidden jutsu here, like Demon Slayer shit. He gets out his degenerate breathing techniques, nearly kills this guy in cold blood, and the judge says, "You're grounded." That's crazy to me. He got the same punishment a high school student would if his parents caught him with weed. Like, it blows my mind that he can almost murder somebody with a fucking sword in an act that the judge fully recognizes was madness, cowardly, nearly fatal, and recognizes the severity of it, and then still says, "Just go home." I don't know. The whole thing is baffling, so I just want to share this story with all of you because it is a weird one. You read about the Tesla driver who sliced another driver with a samurai sword in road rage in New Zealand. Man got him with the Bushido arts. Jesus Christ. No, I did not see that. Samurai sword road rage. Man gets home detention for callous and cowardly attack on dog walker. A motorist who... Here, I'll just pull it up on stream. This sounds crazy. A motorist who took a samurai sword to a dog walker in an Auckland road rage incident has been sentenced to home detention. It's not like punishment. Go home. A man was left with chunks of flesh and bone carved out of him after a brutal attack where a driver got out of his car and attacked him with a sword, leaving the pedestrian bleeding in a ditch. The victim, who was walking his dog, survived the attack thanks to his son, who found him and gave him first aid. But the seriousness of the injuries sustained by the victim have left the tradie with lifelong injuries and unable to work. Much to the dismay of the victim's family, Judge Mina Warpuri on Tuesday announced Darren Clark to 10 months home detention, 100 hours of community work, and to pay $5,000 after pleading guilty to causing grievous bodily harm with intent to injure. That's not justice. That's a joke. What in the world? Ruin this guy's life with a samurai sword, and he gets 100 hours of community service and 10 months at home. That's crazy. That's actually insano-style nonsense. Judge Warpuri said the attack was both premeditated and impulsive, but that injuries weren't foreseeable as he had struck him with the scabbard on the blade. Like, just look at what he's saying. In handing down his sentence, Judge Warpuri praised the actions of the victim's son. Without his timely intervention, it is highly likely your victim would have succumbed to blood loss and died from injuries, and yet the person who perpetrated the attack only gets house arrest for 10 months? I want to go over the severity of the attack here, because it's brutal. So let's go ahead and read about exactly what happened and what the effects were, because the victim's life has forever changed. He can now no longer even do the job that he was doing prior to the attack. The victim was 55 at the time of the attack, and he spotted Clark's Tesla approaching. He stood in the middle lane, motioning for the vehicle to slow down, and tapped the Tesla's roof with his palm as Clark steered the vehicle around him. Clark had his wife and young children with him in the car. He stopped the vehicle, grabbed the sheathed samurai sword, which he claimed to keep in the vehicle for protection, which is a wild thing for protection. Usually it's like a baseball bat or something. This man, for some reason, must have watched one anime and said, "That's better than a baseball bat," and then made the switch. But anyway, he gets his sword, he starts swinging the weapon in a downward directional angle, which he described to police as being 50% force. I swear to God, this guy is actually just a weeb. Now he's just making up things. I was only using 50% of my power. He's lucky I didn't go Ultra Instinct plus Ultra on his ass. But it was enough to shatter the sheath on impact and inflict major damage as it sliced through the victim's upper body. He suffered a deep laceration to his neck down to the bone without hitting the spinal cord. The complainant's jaw was broken and his facial muscles and nerves were severed. The sword also cleaved a large chunk of flesh and bone from his left shoulder, which required emergency surgery and skin grafts, and also severed tendons in his left hand. The victim then fell into the ditch on the side of the road and Clark drove away. He tried to call for help but was unable to unlock his phone because of all the blood. He was found minutes later by his son who was driving home. And then it talks about the lasting effects. He still suffers facial drooping, speech impediment, ringing in his ears, and can't fully lift his arm because of the severed tendons, which means he can no longer work the profession he dedicated his adult life to. And that profession was an electrician from what I've read. So his life has forever changed as a result of this. And the attacker, his life was basically a vacation. He just stays at home for 10 months. Like, that's something people do on purpose. Like, for fun. Like, that's just, I don't know, that blows my mind. So apparently the reason they were so light on the sentencing here is because the attacker argued he didn't know that the scabbard broke, and when his wife told him that she had seen a bunch of blood, he panicked, dropped his family off, who was crying and screaming because the young children in his car just witnessed their father go fucking psycho mode. So he claims he dropped them off after realizing the scabbard had broken. He went back to look for the victim, but paramedics and everyone had already shown up, and then he turned himself in. So they're saying that he's expressing deep remorse for what he's done here, and that's why it's so light on sentencing, but I don't think that changes anything. If this guy is fully capable of doing something like this, he's not safe to be around. He's not safe to be in the public like this. For something so small, like having the roof of your Tesla tapped, to nearly kill a man over it is ridiculous. Like, I understand the sword was sheathed at the time, but it doesn't take a lot to break that, clearly. And even still, even if it's sheathed, hitting someone with a blunt object, like a sword sheath, is also enough to kill someone as well. But man, they really put a lot of stock into apologies in New Zealand court, it seems, because that was cited here that he wrote like a letter of apology, and man, that must have been the most beautifully written letter of all time, up there with some of Shakespeare's best work, in order to get out of a serious sentence for nearly murdering someone. But yeah, I've been thinking about this story a lot just because I still can't fully process why the sentencing would be so light on something so severe and so mad and brutal. But yeah, I just wanted to share this story with all of you because I've thought about it a lot recently, and that's really about it. So yeah. I wanted to take a trip down memory lane today and look at an old legend, the world's chillest man. Tony Tovar was in a situation where his local bar was being robbed at gunpoint and things didn't quite go as the robber planned. This happened in late 2019, and I think once COVID hit in 2020, a lot of people seem to have forgotten who the world's chillest man is, and I want this to serve as a reminder because the COVID era is like the Void Century from One Piece, and I haven't seen anyone mention Tony's name in a long time, and that's just not right.
He's the guy who became a national sensation as the world's chillest man.
Sometimes you just have to stand up to punks like that.
Tony Tovar just nonchalantly sat there, lighting up his cigarette as his favorite neighborhood bar was robbed.
I'll show you some clips from the full security camera footage in a moment because I don't think the Inside Edition Supercut does it justice with how badass this is. He is the Zen master. Tony is cooler than the other side of the pillow. He's just got ice in his veins. I don't think his heart rate ever went above 70 BPM. And it's not like the robber came in here with like a handgun or anything. He blasted into the Thunderdome here with a fucking boomstick. He's got the lumber. And yet, Tony doesn't give a fuck. This guy entered his domain. He's not trapped in here with the robber's trapped in here with Tony. This is when Tony's first alerted to the robber's presence here with the gun. You can't really see the exclamation point go over Tony's head like in Metal Gear because he's just not even like bothered at all. He's been alerted but doesn't give a fuck. Everyone around him starts ducking and complying, the safest thing you can do, but Tony's built a little different, so he's just going, to the wind with that. That's for the birds. I'm just going to go ahead and scroll and see if my team won with the recent game scores. And then he gets the gun shoved into his ribs. The robber tries to take his phone and Tony says, nope, not on my watch, Buster, and rips it back. That's just actual anime protagonist energy right there. Like, his power level is so far above the robbers that he just doesn't even register it as a real threat. It's just somewhat of a nuisance to Tony here. It's just crazy because this guy comes in here with a big gun. Like, we're not talking noisy cricket out of Men in Black. We're talking, like, meat. This guy comes in here with a big gun, and Tony's just more relaxed than anything. It looks like he's listening to ASMR. Like, he's dozing off here. It's just no big deal to him.
Tovar looked cool as a cucumber as the other patrons at Bierman's Bar in St. Louis followed the robber's orders and hit the deck. He puts the barrel of that gun into your rib cage. What's going through your mind?
He was reaching for my phone at the same time, so what was going for my mind is, no, this is not going to happen.
That's just a menacing aura right there. I'm honestly impressed the robber didn't just leave after Tony took his phone back. Like, that is just, like, that's actually scary. Tony's just like, hey, so he's reaching for my phone, and I said, nope, that's just not going to happen.
The surveillance video is silent. Now, Tovar is revealing what words were exchanged during his scary encounter.
He actually asked me, I need the money out of your wallet. I just said, I got $2 in my wallet, and that's for my next beer. I actually told him, hey, since you're back there, get me a beer. He looked at me and says, no, get your own beer.
Not only does Tony shake off the robber with the gun in his ribs like he's bulletproof, he starts shit-talking him. He starts going like Xbox Live mode. He's like, now he's just taking the piss here. Like, of course, the surveillance camera is silent, so there's no way to know for sure if that's what he said, but I trust him. I really do. Like, I imagine he actually did say that, because he does say something. You can see it in the surveillance camera footage. He does say something to the robber when he's behind the bar after lighting up a cigarette. And I love the way he tells the story, too. He's just like, yeah, so told him, might as well make me a beer, right? And then I wrote his name in the death note. Also, I've got to say, God bless that bar's prices. If you're getting $2 beers there, you hold on to that tight. That's precious. I can't remember the last time there was a beer for $2 at any place I've been in Tampa. The amount of time Tony had this gun just pointed right at his face is just frightening. And yet Tony doesn't flinch at all, just lighting up the cigarette right in front of him. It just oozes intimidation, like his spiritual pressure, like a character out of Bleach, is on another level here. Now, obviously, this is the most dangerous way imaginable of handling a situation like this. It's extraordinarily lucky that Tony didn't end up just getting shot and killed here. It's extremely lucky that no one was hurt in this entire situation here. And I do want to mention the guy next to Tony. So as you can see, he's getting the gun shoved into his back to bring his wallet out and give him the money inside of it, which he does. He complies, which is the right thing to do. And then moments later, he also lights up a cigarette just like Tony. So now you have two dudes here just kind of hard fucking chilling, smoking a cigarette during this robbery. I guess Tony was just giving out chill pills, and this dude's like, alright, you know what, I'll just go ahead and start smoking a cigarette too, no reason to stress.
After taking money from other patrons, the robber forced the bartender to open the cash register. He took all the money, $200 in total. All the while, Tovar just sits there taking it all in. His advice for anyone else who finds themselves in a similar situation: don't do what he did.
If you don't want to get hurt and you're not sure, comply.
He is absolutely right. Tony's behavior here should not be emulated under any circumstances. The best thing you can do is comply, because it's just not worth getting killed over. You never know how unhinged the other person is. Like I said, Tony just got extremely lucky here. Like, this easily could have gone much, much worse, and it's just very fortunate that it didn't. Now, Tony seems like a great guy. Inside Edition actually did a follow-up with Tony the year after this happened, just to kind of see how he's doing and what's going on, and he just seems like a legitimate sweetheart.
Tony's been a master mechanic for 38 years and currently works at Century Tire and Auto in St. Louis, Missouri. His boss agrees with the headlines seen on Inside Edition's YouTube channel more than 50 million times.
Tony is the world's chillest man.
A master mechanic and a master at chilling. Even his boss seems like a super cool character. I love the way he comes in and says, Tony is the world's chillest man. It reminds me of like an old radio show host. Behold, the man who can chill under any circumstances, in a pool of sharks, in a pool of lava, in a pool. He can chill anywhere, in the face of bullets, the face of cannons. You can't stop him from chilling. I don't know, he just seems cool.
Inside this bar behind me is a regular watering hole.
I lived right there.
There are local neighbors that depend on coming here and feeling that they're safe, to have their refreshments, and to not be bothered.
Is there anything more wholesome? Just a mechanic and his boss and his friends going to the local bar just to shoot the shit.
Tony wants people to know that even though he seems untroubled by danger, he fought to have this seat at the bar.
I'm a very honest person, forthright, hardworking, and nobody is going to take what I have worked hard for, under any circumstances.
As for the suspect in the armed robbery case, Kevin Moore pleaded not guilty to charges against him. He remains behind bars as he's being held with no bond.
He actually wrote a letter while he was incarcerated and apologized to the bar. And we put that letter on the wall. And people ask me, well, what do you think about him? I said, you know what? If I met him again today, I'd ask him to pray with me.
Amen. And that's the most recent update I can find on Tony Tovar. That's just, I don't know, it's just so sweet. They then frame the apology note from the robber. Like, what the fuck? That's so cool. Again, definitely like the worst way ever of handling a robbery situation, because he could have just been shot and killed for it, but he didn't. And he seems like a really wholesome guy. And, you know, he's still earned that title, the world's chillest man. It's been quite a few years now, and I can't think of a more chill man in the world, at least none that pops into my head immediately. So yeah, I just wanted to tell the story of Tony Tovar because it's been quite a while and I haven't seen his name around in a long time. I hope he's doing well. I hope the bar is still doing well and it's safe and everyone there is safe. That's really about it. So yeah. I have alarming news. My beautiful city of Tampa Bay is on high alert as we are being ravaged by a loose cannon degenerate who is preying upon female real estate agents by pretending to be interested in purchasing property so that he can caress their feet.
You will only see right here on 10 Tampa Bay. Realtors are now speaking out after sharing posts like these online. They say a man suspected of having a foot fetish is reportedly targeting women real estate agents by booking fake home tours and open house showings.
Pound for pound, it really seems like foot fetishists have the most criminals. Like, of every fetish that exists on this planet, I feel like we see foot fetishists being the ones that are most aggressive and most insatiable with their appetite for their fix. I just see it in the headlines all the time. Like, just a week ago on stream, we learned about this dweeb, the Nevada foot fondler, which sounds like a terrible DC villain, who was recently arrested for breaking into multiple women's homes and rubbing their feet and legs while they slept. Like he was trying to get a genie out of a lamp. He would go in and like rub their feet, and they finally caught him. And there's a body cam of them confronting him as well. He literally looks like a caricature you'd picture in your head if I told you about the Nevada foot fondler. Now, I don't know if he's busted out of Arkham Asylum and now terrorizing Tampa Bay, or if there really is just that many foot fetishist criminals that just keep spawning in. It is crazy, though.
That's right, Dave and Frank. Several realtors are sharing this very similar story of a man inappropriately touching their leg or foot while they are working. And the earliest as far back as July in Pinellas County, and as recently as last week during another showing in Manatee County.
He's been at large for quite some time now. This is far from his first rodeo. They haven't caught him. There's not even a lot of information about who he is. I imagine they don't have any pictures or any real information on him, considering he makes these fake bookings and then going to open houses. So it's not like they're vetting him when he arrives and does this. So he's just like this man of mystery who probably retreats into the sewers like fucking Master Splinter. And he just comes out anytime there's an open house like the fucking boogeyman to go and like touch the female realtor's legs and feet. Now, after doing a little more digging, it turns out they actually do know information about this guy, but they're not releasing it because he hasn't been formally charged or arrested on any of this at the moment. But I would make an argument that by not informing potential victims here, realtors, of who this is, it puts them at risk because he will continue to go terrorize open houses or booking these house tours with the realtors where he might do this again. If they don't know who he is, how are they going to avoid him and stay safe away from him? You know what I mean? And that's one of the things the story talks about, like, just avoid this guy. Well, how if they don't know who it is? Unless they're like privately sharing that information with every realtor in the local area, I guess perhaps they're just not releasing it publicly on the news, maybe? I don't really know.
That time, he, pointed down at my feet and was like, oh, you have an ant on your shoe. And I was like, where, and I'm frantic trying to get the ant off my shoe. And I'm like, where? And he's like, right there, right there.
Real estate agent Angela Julian didn't realize that was just a trick.
He bends down and he starts unbuckling my shoe and caressing my foot, and I just thought that was really weird. At the same time, he's fidgeting with his phone, petting my foot, fidgeting phone, and I think he's trying to take some type of a video up my skirt. It was really alarming.
That was just one of his many tricks in the John Madden playbook he uses to get his fix of foot fondling. So she's recounting this in this story where he came up and said like, oh, there's an ant on your shoe. So she was like kind of freaking out, and he's like, don't worry, I'm the hero here, I'll take care of this. And he goes down and then just starts like taking off her shoe, and I can already just hear the fedora tip he does as he says, "Milady, I've got this taken care of, no need to fear," as he goes down there and then just starts like worshipping her foot while trying to film with the other hand or some shit. I'm surprised she didn't just like reflexively kick him in the face, like breaking his nose. I don't know how he squeaked out of this situation with no injuries and no handcuffs. I'm assuming she was just like really fearful of this, because I think most people would be. That's a pretty alarming thing to just have happen out of nowhere when you're going to do like a fucking house tour for what you think is an interested buyer in the property you're listing. And then for something like this to unfold, that's probably the last thing anyone really expects. Anyway, like I mentioned earlier, it feels like this has happened a lot with feet in particular. Like that fetish for some reason leads to things like this more frequently than a lot of others. I understand it's more on the common side of fetishes, but even still, like some of the most outrageous ones you won't even hear about, like producing this many criminals, like fucking piss fetishists. You never see a headline with them in a case like this. Like, you never heard about like the piss patriot who goes to open house showings in order to con realtors into urinating on him. Like one of his strategies similar to this guy, like, "Oh, help, a jellyfish just stung me in the chest," rips off his shirt. "I need you to piss on it to neutralize the sting, quick!"
First unaware of the violation, now at least more than a half dozen women coming forward to share stories of their encounter with the strange man that's left them feeling vulnerable.
Very vulnerable. Instantly, you can sense that something's not quite right, but you can't really put your finger on it.
He's searching Zillow. He's using everything that everyone has public access to see when and where people are going to be.
I imagine this guy's got a setup similar to like Charles Xavier with Cerebro. He's just got like Zillow listings everywhere in the Tampa / St. Petersburg area, and he's looking for open houses so he can go there and touch the realtor's feet. Assuming, of course, they are female, because it doesn't seem like he's targeting male realtors at all.
And that is concerning.
Les Haynes, who runs a group for Tampa area realtors, says up to 30 people can show up for a single open house, with many unvetted. That's why he's advising realtors to prioritize their safety.
If you are carrying a firearm, you need firearm safety, you need practice. It is not buying a gun on a shelf and thinking you're going to be Annie Oakley.
They mention about how a lot of people that attend these open houses, they don't have like background checks or anything. They're not like vetted. It's just people that see it's an open house and they come in. That's the whole fucking point of an open house. It's just kind of fishing to see if there's anyone in the area that happens to drive by that might be interested in the property. So there isn't like a whole lot of procedure behind like getting information on everyone that shows up, which is why he's able to stay so under the radar and why it doesn't seem like there's any information about him. Now, this guy is mentioning how important it is to like prioritize safety as a realtor, especially with someone like this out there. So he's talking about firearms, which the Tampa toe tickler probably just got a lot of sweat on his fucking brow right there hearing that.
Have an escape route, have maybe some pepper spray or something that you can grab and get to in an emergency to protect yourself.
And tonight, some of those women have now reported their encounters to area law enforcement, including Clearwater Police just confirming an incident in September. They say if you're a realtor and someone behaves like this or this particular person shows up at your listing, first make sure you get yourself safely out of harm's way and then call 911 immediately.
So since this weirdo is known to authorities, it is now just a matter of, are they going to do anything about him? Are there going to be charges pressed against him for these mini acts of caressing people's feet without their consent? So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled to see if they finally do take in the Tampa toe tickler. And, well, that's really about it right now. If you're a realtor watching this, just be careful out there, because he's still off the leash. That's really about it. See ya. Dude, I fucking love the strongmen in this world. I watch a lot of Juji, Tom and Juji. I love seeing the shit these guys do.
For our function, that's why everybody.
They can't wipe their own asses. I don't know if you're joking or not, but a friend of mine actually can't clap because his pecs are so big.
That Peter Francisco did.
Who the fuck is Peter Francisco?
Pick up and shoulder an 1,100-pound cannon and carry it.
What?
A battlefield.
Bullshit, he did that. Peter Francisco is a liar.
I want to make sure that.
What did you read that on? Peter Francisco's Tumblr blog? His fanfic?
Really look up.
Now, Brian Shaw is a fucking monster. If he can't do it, then not even Thanos can.
Come on, Brian, don't you stop.
Oh, he's making it look easy. What is that, 50 pounds? 15 pounds? That's nothing.
It's up. Yes!
Shaw's coming raw, baby.
Yes!
Yeah! Fuck yeah! I'm gonna go jerk off into a sink and puke.
I actually felt a little bit like.
Alright, I gotta look it up. If they're gonna keep referencing fucking Peter Francisco as if he's Hercules, I at least gotta know who he is. They're gonna believe a guy that looks like this? You telling me this man carries 1,100-pound cannons on his shoulders? This guy looks like a Twitter warrior. Bullshit, Peter Francisco's carrying anything more than emotions. Fucking sensitive ass looking motherfucker. No way. No fucking way. I'm into this strongman shit now. I want to see more. Today they'll be carrying 5 airplanes. Who the fuck is Paul Anderson now? Alright, we've already fact-checked on Francisco Roberto IV Chodius, or whatever his name was. I already forgot. Peter Francisco. Let's see Paul Anderson. Okay, this guy looks like he can lift some mean meat. Yeah, this guy might actually be a meat lifter for sure. Yeah. I don't know who these soft soy boys are, but this guy looks like he pumps meat.
I wouldn't call it 4 times world's strongest.
To be fair, this is a really stupid challenge. This is a dumb one. They just lifted 2,700 pounds and now they're ripping cards.
So,
Right, let's go to a real strongman challenge. Here we'll be carrying an entire Vikings warship using only our forearms. Can you tear a fleshlight?
Oh my god.
Oh, I like that idea. Get a strong man to come over and put him to like my kind of tests. Can you tear a fleshlight? Can you jerk me off without me coming in your face? Put him to like real tests. I think that's a good idea. Have my own show. Juji would probably try that. I don't think Juji would jerk me off. I wouldn't even let him. I have way too much respect for him.
Alright, so what we got here?
Not that I don't respect the people that do jerk me off. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just, you know, you wouldn't ask your idol to jerk you off, you know what I mean?
Average man.
I'm right here. That's not average man, that's average Chad. Look at that hair.
Like I did with Michelle.
He does it with ease. Just shoulder pressing it. Oh, this is easy.
No, you're not. Well,
They make Nick go first on all of these. Literally every single one of these, Nick has gone first.
Wow, that's gonna be really.
I can't think of a single one he hasn't gone first on, off the top of my head.
There's no way to actually.
Let's make sure it's safe. If Nick dies, we know not to do it.
So it's going to
fucked
be a
up.
very difficult job.
Shot now.
What? That just looks like you're trying to break your neck.
Good job. Log out.
Do I know any other languages? No, just English and gamer, really. Those are the only two I'm fluent in. Oh, he looks so happy and casual lifting that. Are those fake weights, huh? You cheating up there, Robbie?
Why don't we go like 1,500? How about that?
Yeah!
How are you feeling? What do you guys think?
Let's do 3,000!
I'm in.
Fuck yeah! We added a small Tesla to the bottom. Oh god, that just looks painful for everything.
Go on, get up there, man.
Yep, Nick has once again injured himself. Jesus Christ.
Feel your feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what 1,600 pounds will do to you.
Cracks and pops. I was worried very, very badly.
Dude's fucking slapping him on the back like he's trying to burp a baby.
So what's the lowest jump?
Just let Nick have it. He just killed himself for it.
Let's do it. Let's add 27 pounds, guys.
No, boo. Let Nick win, please. He earned it.
Let's go, B.
2,000 pounds already? Oh, come on, please. I hope Brian fucks it up. I want Nick to win. Snorting coke won't be enough. The coke never is. It's an ephemeral high. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. No. Fuck. He just fucking falls forward over the railing, passed out.
The best.
That man's entire back split in half, and he is still moving just fine. That guy's an animal. He hurt himself on 4 out of 5 of the ones we've watched so far. And he is still fucking pumping dick in these weights. No, this isn't a custom player-created wrestler in a WWE game. This is a real human being about to do some real stupid shit.
Alright, first time ever. We're gonna try to slay one of these giant buffalo with this katana cold steel machete.
That's right, this is the Buck Medley, masculinity's apotheosis, evolution's greatest achievement, the eater and breather of testosterone, and he's out here using that beautiful cold steel katana machete to suck some asshole and stab some fish, and he's all out of asshole sucking.
Just out from cold steel, shape of a katana, excellent killing sword. We're gonna try to get out in this buffalo swarm and see if we can stab a giant buffalo with this katana cold steel machete.
Now, the man's not doing a great job of explaining exactly what he's trying to catch out here. It's not the buffalo you're thinking of, it's an ichthyobus, which is known as a buffalo fish. He's not coming out here and slaying special ops buffaloes that are snorkeling in the stream. It is indeed fish.
First time ever been done. Let's see what happens.
Shit, I can't imagine why this would be the first time it's ever been attempted. It can't be because it's a stupid fucking idea. No, that just wouldn't make any sense. What an achievement being the first one to try and hunt fish with a katana. That's definitely a merit that needs to make its way onto this guy's Tinder bio. The pussy will just not stop flooding in. So now the video is 2 minutes of uninterrupted nothing, just this fucking imbecile standing in the river looking like the product of a Dragon Ball Z fusion between a soccer mom in her midlife crisis and a Neanderthal. Now this is an important point I need to make. He does actually catch a fish, spoiler alert. I expected it to be a stuffed fish as some type of publicity stunt or something, as maybe a joke, since this is from the Cold Steel YouTube channel officially. But no, he actually does kill a fish with the katana here to try and sell this product as some type of hunting tool or a fishing device, I guess. I don't understand the logic behind this demonstration. Shit, hey, sorry boys, it looks like I forgot my fishing rod, but luckily I remembered to pack my cold steel katana machete. I never leave home without it. I'll use this instead. It's just downright fucking stupid, ridiculous, and sick. Now we approach the climax of this Avengers movie and his beautiful hair flowing in the wind fresh from the salon. He catches a whiff of something and he strikes. He just fucking lunges with the same furiosity as a child throwing a 6-pound bowling ball down the lane. Congratulations, inbred Flintstone, you caught one. I really wish the water had swept him away. That poor fucking fish got attacked by the one thing it could have never expected. The one weapon it could have never properly trained against. A fucking katana wielded by Dog the Bounty Hunter's anime-loving little brother. I'm stopping the video here, it goes on, but it's just him disrespecting the fish he just stabbed. He does everything shy of fucking teabagging the fish like a Halo kill. It's just insulting, and it's disturbing to watch, really. And Cold Steel should really be ashamed of this video that they posted so proudly. Just a fucking stupid video all around with stupid people in it. Buck Medley probably tries to stab clouds to prevent the rain. But yeah, man, that's it. See ya. Fingers of steel? How can I say no? What's up, everybody? It's Critical. I want you to forget everything you think you know about men. You didn't know what a real man looked like until right now. Now, you're looking at a real man. This is what evolution wanted the XY chromosomes to look like. This guy is the definition of masculinity, the epitome of testosterone. You think you're a man because your wiener can get up to 6 inches? Fuck you. This man's womb room is 6 inches flaccid. You think you're a man because you have some hair on your scrotum? Fuck you. This man's scrotum is made out of hair. Probably looks like a fucking Karibo from Yu-Gi-Oh! This is a man. You are a boy. I thought I was a man. I now realize I'm a boy. You think you've seen men in movies or in real life? No. All you've ever seen are boys. Nay, toddlers, compared to this Adonis. This Greek god of a man. I'm just gonna go ahead and play the video so you can see what I mean.
What's up, Facebook? So I'm in a bathroom right now in an airplane. And I have a guy sitting next to me that thinks he owns the armrest.
You got me fucked up if you think I'm gonna get between this man and his armrest. He'd snap me in half. He'd eat my tits. He looks like a goofy Lex Luthor. You gotta feel bad for whatever homunculus dared take the armrest from this man. I pity him.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to get some video of me showing that if he wants to tussle with the muscle, he's gonna get it. So I'm gonna bump him off and hopefully I get it on camera.
Someone better have made funeral arrangements for that poor soul using the armrest, because his arm's about to get bumped into oblivion. He's gonna bump him, dude's just gonna fucking combust. This sociopathic Howie Mandel ain't fucking around. Like he said, you just don't tussle with the muscle. Did you fucking see that impact? I'm surprised the plane didn't catch fire. That is the power of CrossFit Gamma. You too, if you take CrossFit classes, can bump the arm of a sleeping gentleman right off of the armrest. I also love the victim of this man's brutal bumping, his reaction. It's beautiful. He's just so stunned and confused and perturbed. It's just this flurry of emotions, and it all just leads back to why. What was the purpose, you know? I absolutely love how crossfitting Patrick Stewart pretends to be asleep so that way it doesn't have to be any confrontation between the two of them over his actions. And you can just tell that his heart is racing. Oh no, please don't say anything about it. It was a power move. Don't call me out on it, please. I'm just going to pretend to be asleep. It's super pathetic. If you're going to commit to this, you might as well go all the way. Just bump his arm off, stare him dead in the eyes, maybe even stimulate your nipples or something. Be like, yeah, I just bumped your arm off, pussy. What are you going to do about it? You going to touch my penis about it? Is that what you're going to do? You know, just fucking stand your ground then. If you're going to be an asshole, commit to being an asshole. Don't pretend to just be some passive dude. Oh, I just fell asleep and bumped your arm off when you're hyping yourself up in the bathroom. But anyway, yeah, that is a real man for you all, and that's it. See ya. Almost 4 years ago now, I made a video talking about one of the greatest stories the internet has ever seen. It's the story of one man's never-ending quest to receive an umbrella that he backed on Kickstarter. This adventure is a dark look into the human psyche as we follow our protagonist Michael Superbacker in his holy crusade to finally get the umbrella that he is owed by a Kickstarter scam that he was foolish enough to believe in. This journey teaches us how far the human spirit can go before it breaks, and begs the question to all of us, what does it mean to never give up? The year is 2014. Charles White is a sophomore in college on the verge of losing his virginity. Michael Superbacker is an umbrella enthusiast who just happens to stumble across a very popular shit-starter campaign for something called the Air Umbrella. Now, Michael's no Mary Poppins, but he can appreciate the finely crafted microphone stand design of the umbrella. It also kind of looks like the Hitachi vibrating wands that you see in porn pretty often, and no doubt this helps pique Michael's interest in the project. After showing 3D models they threw together in Maya in 10 minutes, they finally give a demonstration of the prototype, and Michael's blown away. Blocking water with air, just like something out of Avatar: The Last Airbender, he thinks to himself, and that finally seals the deal. He puts a lot of money into the project. Giddy with excitement, with an estimated delivery date right around the corner, Michael's wet dreams start turning to nightmares as he has nothing to catch all that moisture with. The air umbrella misses its estimated delivery date and misses it again and again and again. And then it became a never-ending quest for Michael Superbacker to get a refund or get the air umbrella, and he wasn't settling for anything that wasn't one of those two options. The video I initially made covering this sad story was 3 years after the initial scam, $100,000 vanishing overnight with no refunds given to anybody, the comment section on the Kickstarter filled with very unsatisfied people upset that they're not getting the umbrella and they're not getting their money back. And after a couple of years, they start to fizzle out until only one remains. And that is Michael Superbacker. Michael is a man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. A force of nature so powerful not even the air umbrella could stop him. And Michael is still going. It has been 3 years since my first video talking about this, and now it is 7 years since the initial scam took place, and he hasn't given up yet. So let's pick up where we left off 3 years ago in the manga. Michael Superbacker 3 years ago starts to notice that people are supporting him. He doesn't know where, but decides he's going to create a YouTube account to document this journey, this adventure. He then starts putting poems and lyrics from his favorite songs into the comments, hoping his very best to just get the attention of someone who accidentally logs into the Air Umbrella Kickstarter page. Scrolling up, it's kind of like reading those notebooks you'd find on ghost ships where the captain starts to go insane and starts writing gibberish at points. But Michael maintains a level head. He knows his mission. He is driven for one ultimate goal. This has been a 7-year-long war in the comments section, and all of Michael's comrades, his warriors in arms, his champions, his friends, his brothers and sisters, they have all left him alone on this battlefield now, in this barren wasteland of the Air Umbrella Kickstarter comments. It's like something out of the fucking Fallout universe. And then, out of nowhere, a glimmer of hope. Dean. Big Bad Dean. A new challenger has entered the battle. A new, strange face pops their playful little head out of the gopher's hole and starts talking in the comments section. By this point, Michael hasn't had human contact on this page in over 4 years, so he's panicking. He doesn't know how to handle this. This is someone new, a stranger in a weird place. Like a caveman seeing fire for the first time, Michael, a bit frightened but also interested, lets Dean have the floor. Biggest ass in the world. I've been robbed, and no refund has been given. I've contacted Kickstarter, and they are a disgrace too. Just a little PSA, a little heads up, Kickstarter never does shit in these cases. I've never seen Kickstarter do anything when it comes to a fucking blatant scam like the Air Umbrella. Honestly though, let me just get this out there. I think Air Umbrella should just come forward and make a special umbrella for Michael in particular, like a sign from the whole team that scammed him with like a little smiley face at the end. Just give the man a fucking umbrella. I don't care if you just buy it from Walmart, just send this man an umbrella. Or just give him some money back. But anyway, back to what Dean's saying. They insist I have to contact the creator, who has ignored every form of contact I have made. Yeah, that's Kickstarter. Basically, it's, yeah, we're not going to do anything. Why don't you talk to the guy that fucking scammed you? I'm sure he'll be reasonable to give your money back. Great policy from Kickstarter. I will never use Kickstarter again. I've switched to Indiegogo.com, and frankly, the creator, the thieving, lying tosser, can go run and jump. That was an extremely sad sentence to read. God bless Dean's soul. Jesus Christ. I guarantee he's a lot more unhappy now since going to Indiegogo. If you can believe this, Indiegogo actually has more scams on it than Kickstarter. I would argue like 90% of everything you see on Indiegogo never existed in the first place and will never come out. They genuinely have the stupidest people using that platform and the dumbest fucking most blatantly obvious scam artists abusing it. I have seen so many projects with over $1 million in funding with an idea that quite literally can't exist in this fucking dimension. They'll say something about how we invented a way of creating water using nothing but my wet farts and Mozart's music, and it'll have like 50,000 backers for over $1 million, and then all of them are shocked when it never releases. This platform offers a really innovative tool for douchebags, scumbags, scam artists to use called a flexible goal. I won't get too deep into the weeds of it, but when you see a flexible goal on Indiegogo, just know that something shady's probably going on there. I think that whole fucking site sucks. It preys on the extremely gullible and vulnerable people, so I feel really bad for Dean, who thought that that was like a good alternative to Kickstarter. What should have happened with Dean here is he'd be like, oh my god, I got scammed on Kickstarter, they're clearly doing nothing about it, maybe I should stop investing in crowd-funded garbage. That should have been the thought process, but instead he went to just go get scammed somewhere else. That'd be like if I got scammed in RuneScape. Oh shit, I just gave this stranger my rune armor because he said he'd trim it for free, but he didn't do it. Fuck. I learned my lesson now. Time to go to this guy over here who's saying he'll double my gold if I give him all of my bank. That should work. And then being surprised when that also gets you scammed. It's just really sad. I feel bad for Dean. And just to finish off his statement, I hope you get what you deserve. Kickstarter also, you have failed to protect or even represent your backers. Your platform is one that has entirely let me down. I will not touch with a barge pole in future. Bye bye, go to hell. You and the creator are a match made for each other. Dean's very upset, understandably so. This was a big scam, 100 grand in the fucking toilet, right down the fucking shitter. And Dean was an unfortunate victim of it. I am a little surprised that he waited 5 years to make this statement. Like, I feel like after the first year of constant missing the deadline, you'd be like, okay, this fucking sucks. I've clearly been lied to about this project, but this guy, he's got the patience of some kind of Zen master. He waited 5 years the entire time believing that it's right around the corner. I'm sure it'll be delivered any day now. Probably looking out his window every morning for the FedEx truck to come by with his air umbrella. But it just never happened. And then finally, after 5 years, he's like, yep, this was a scam. But anyway, Michael, after seeing signs of life in the comment section, once again lets out a triumphant, oh shit, they pissed off another air umbrella enthusiast. Looks like I'm not the only one. Stay strong, Dean. I will find us an umbrella one day. And I guarantee Michael will at some point. It may take 10 years, may take 10,000 years, but I fucking believe Michael will finally either create an air umbrella himself or discover one in like some kind of ancient Egyptian tomb or something. It's on its way. Michael and Dean will be avenged. As the years go by, Michael continues on the grind, looking for updates, trying to connect with other people that have been scammed. You see we're at day 1657 of the captain's log here. Then we get another encounter with a living, breathing human being who says, I invoke my rights under Kickstarter's terms of use, and then just goes into this general statement. We've seen this a few times over the last 7 years of people believing that Kickstarter gives a fuck about their terms of use. This has never worked in the history of this website, and it never will because this website just wipes its ass with its own terms of use. So you're not guaranteed a refund, and posting this doesn't help your chances. This is just an act of desperation from the scammed people, and it's really always just upsetting to look at because I truly understand where they're coming from. They've lost a lot of money on this, and they just want it back. But probably won't ever happen, and this right here, it doesn't do anything. We continue through the timeline. A few other people pop their heads in here now and then. This person says no one's responsible for this scam. That couldn't be further from the truth. Whoever was behind the air umbrella is the one responsible for this scam. This wasn't like an act of God or like some kind of natural event of nature. Like, this was a coordinated scam from a team of people. They're absolutely responsible. Michael continues with some lyrics and some poems, hoping to lift the spirits up from anyone that's still a refugee here in the comment section, just desperately looking for a refund or the product. We're up to day 1753. Michael is still on the prowl. He's the only one here. Then Brian again comes with the invoking my rights for the Kickstarter terms. Again, falls on deaf ears. I actually wouldn't be surprised if no one works at Kickstarter. It's just kind of like a functioning machine, kind of like Skynet, but it doesn't think very hard. It's not a very smart machine. Another one here, invoking the rights for a full refund, doesn't work, but you have to at least appreciate them trying to offer their prayers to the Kickstarter gods. Another one coming through. So there was a little activity over the last 3 years, at least more than we'd previously seen. People finally starting to recognize that this was a huge scam and they want their money back. And now, 23 days ago, Michael makes his most recent post as of making this video, day 2474. Michael, from the front lines, reports, it's still raining outside. God damn it. Michael is still out there, in the rain, cold, hungry. No umbrella to stop that rain from hitting him. It's just Michael out there now. Michael's the last one, still fighting for that fucking umbrella. It is tragic. It is a sad story, but a story that needs to be told nonetheless. Michael has been here for 7 years in the comments section. And I imagine he'll be there for 7 more. Because that shit is not coming. And there is a 0% chance Kickstarter does anything. They wouldn't spit on a dollar bill and send it to Michael. They probably wouldn't even apologize to him for this shit happening on their platform. Kickstarter wouldn't piss into his mouth if he was dying of thirst in the desert. They do not care. But again, this is just the nature of crowdfunding projects. You have to accept that a lot of them probably will not come out. Or if they do, they will probably not be as hyped up as they were in the original Kickstarter pitch. That's just the way it is. Sometimes they are very good, sometimes they're not scams, but a lot of times, face it, they are. And this is one of those cases. It's easy to forget that when a scam happens, real people are affected. People like Michael and the other people we've seen throughout this 7-year comment section. It is, unironically, a very sad thing. And, yeah, just wanted to check in here with Michael. That's about it. See ya.
Power cause serious injury or even death.
Probably not in this episode, Stan. It's disc golf and throwing cards. So you're probably safe to try these.
Hitting a ton of bricks.
And so there's no cement on that wall, is there?
Your brain and his inner strength.
I have no doubt he's getting through this door. There's probably not even a deadbolt or anything in there.
Crazy.
The door's just straight unlocked.
Death actually broke the solid plastic corner off of Jared's chronograph.
Plastic! It's supposed to be indestructible! We found a man that left a mean Reddit comment about Lee online. He's gonna kill him now. Brody was also on Dude Perfect. Dude Perfect was scouting Stan Lee's superhumans. As always, it's incredible what the human body is capable of, with only a little bit of practice and determination saying, you know what? Today I want to run through some bricks. And maybe some ice.